Hello, friends and followers. Well, here's the HRO 500 from eBay. I've tried to make the radio work today, and that has not been successful. I have to understand the diagrams and the schematic and the modular construction components better. Understand the synthesizer here and how the radio mutes. So I still can't get any audio out of it, but it's been a busy day. So I did take all the knobs off it and cleaned up the front panel a bit. I took some pool acid and silver polished these decrepit areas here, and they're not perfect yet, but they're coming along. This area here is really bad. And I put some sulfuric acid on there too to see if I could get some of the crud off it. So I've been working on that. I tried some silver polish here on the paint, which has a fine grain in it. Grain's the wrong word. It has some fine abrasive compound in it. So that kind of shined this thing up. It looks like it was owned by a smoker somewhat, but not a terrible smoker. So I got some nicotine off it today, not much. I still can't get this fancy knob off yet. It's got some set screws here that I loosened up, but there's going to be more to that to get it off. I want to get the knob off. To get the front panel off, I suppose I'll do that too. I'm guessing I take off these screws here and these here, probably some on the bottom here. Take off all this stuff. This, and this, and this. And I think the front panel would come off. I want to get the front panel off because I want to kind of lubricate some of the gearworks back there and change some light bulbs. This light bulb here for the phase lock is a little P lamp, and it's 6 volts at 0.04 ampere. What would that be? 0.04, 40 milliamperes or something, or 4 mil, tens, hundreds. I think it's a 4 mil lamp. So if this lamp is burned out, I'm just wondering if the phase lock loop will fail because it needs that as a ground. Not sure yet. I don't know the circuitry well enough yet. But anyway, I did find some other problems underneath the radio that were mechanical, which I'll show you. But pretty happy with how this thing, for being a real junker, it's coming along. So yeah, this is today's work on it. I just got it yesterday, so I guess I've been tearing into it, but it might turn out perfect. We'll see. It's got promise. Anyway, so people that are restoring these, there's some they use, looks like fiber shafts for the function switch, and I would like to put a steel shaft in here. I'm not sure why they used a fiber shaft, but this shaft is degrading. And what else is interesting is look how this isn't lined up too well. So I wonder if those boxes can be lined up in the radio. Everything else seems fine. Anyway, yeah, I couldn't get anything out of this radio today. I followed a few little tips that were on blogs and couldn't find anything. Anyway, let's turn it over. I like this radio that is smaller. At least it's a lot smaller than my NC300. The one I had, and it's not as heavy, so this is a real improvement. I love that all transistors are socketed. I pulled out a number of these today, was testing them, and the germanium transistors seem to test fine with my meter, so happy about that. At any rate, let's look under here. So let me flip it over all the way and show you some gotchas under here that I found today. So under the gotchas, so unfortunately I took all the knobs off, but this is the function switch here, on, off, AM, SSB, all that. And I found that this shaft here is cracking. So the gentleman that owned this before had smartly move this collar out to actually hit this shaft where it's cracking. It's cracking like right about there. But this shaft runs all the way back, and it's kind of a half shaft. It's kind of shaved. You can see how it kind of dovetails in there, but that needs replaced. It'll work for the time. It's kind of flimsy, so I would favor an aluminum shaft if I could find one. At any rate, that's no big deal. That'll work for a while. I put some synthetic grease into here. So that brings us to the band switch, and what I found was this band switch also is on a fiber rod. Lovely, huh? I guess that's fine, but seems like there's a lot of tension on it. Anyway, I lubricated it where it has its detents, but the detents are in here a bit. Let's see if I can find them. There they are. So there's some detents past that gear against the case. Put some grease on those so the switch would turn. And the switch does click pretty well. The only problem was that the alignment of these wafers was off by maybe half a wafer or half a click or something. So I had to loosen up this coupling right here and move this a bit. As the radio is not functioning yet, I'm not sure that made any difference, but it didn't look visually like it was on the right band. It seemed like it was skipping, and it was actually covering two bands at once at one point. It wouldn't really click in right, so I fixed that. And that's as far as I got under here today. I was trying to make the radio go, and I really couldn't get any. I could hear a little bit of hiss through here, but just from audio hiss, I couldn't really get anything out of it. One thing I did note is there's an AGC or ABC value on the back plug, which they call it a PNP value and an NPN value for the AGC. I think on the NPN value, I could vary the RF gain control, which is here. I could vary this control, and I could see that going up and down. So that showed me that at least the AGC is working, and maybe the IFs are working. I'm not sure yet, but I definitely should have this lamp here lit, and I should be able to take the VFO in and out of lock. This lamp will go. In fact, I can't get any lamps in the radio to go at all. I did find one bulb was good. The bulbs are very hard to reach. These are two 6-volt bulbs in series, and the rest of the bulbs are 12-volt, except for this bulb here, which is 6-volt P lamp. So yeah, I'm probably only gonna access this bulb if I take the front panel off. So gotta get this off. I cleaned up the panel today, but it looks nice, but I gotta get it off, and I want to service this, I forget how they pronounce the word this thing's called, but this fancy tuning dial. I want to service this and get it cleaned up a little more. I did spend a good bit of time cleaning up all the knobs today, and these were filthy. I'm not sure why, but I tried to clean all these up non-destructively so that they were clean. I still want to get the aluminum fronts of these things cleaned up, and I'm thinking about putting these on a drill bit and spinning them with a drill against a pad with some silver cleaner on it. Maybe that will clean up those things without me having to kill myself doing it. But this knob didn't come out too well. I need to scrape off some of the goo. It's almost like somebody was using epoxy and playing with the radio when they had epoxy on their fingers. So this knob is probably the worst knob of the bunch. The rest aren't so shabby. They came out rather well, except that the aluminum on the front became unglued and fell off. So I gotta find about 3 aluminum inserts for the radio, but otherwise the knobs are quite good. I think that's the RF gain knob there. This is one the gent would have used a lot, and it again has some kind of crud on it. I was scraping off lots of gray stuff, so it's hard to get it back to original quality. I try my best without new parts. Here's the band switch knob. This is one that I was working hard to get this thing shiny. It's the only one I've tried to shine up so far. I was hitting it with pool acid and sulfuric acid and silver polish, and I think it's going to shine up. So the rest will be properly shined up like this one, and the radio will be. Yeah, I need to get some aluminum inserts for this radio. So yeah, this is how the knobs are right now. They aren't. This one isn't great. So I got to get this thing cleaned up in front here, get it looking proper. But the knobs basically aren't really too beat up or hacked. They're just dirty. So yeah, this knob is really interesting knob too. It's a very custom knob. So yeah, the radio looks like it has hope to come back to near pristine with a lot of work. But the knobs are not damaged at all, except for the missing pieces. But you can see the inserts are missing, but otherwise they're not new, but they're fairly serviceable. So that's the story on the knobs. I cleaned up this one here too, which goes on here. So that looks nice. Now I gotta get this off and clean it, but oh well. Cleaned up all this. Cleaned up pretty much in here. It looks like when it's upside down, I could do some more cleaning. I just get Q-tips and Windex and I clean in through here. That's how you get these things perfect. And get a Q-tip and just look for dirt. That's what I do. And some Windex. The underside of this thing is really pristine. So yeah, I think this switch needs cleaned up a bit more, but I'm almost afraid to clean it. I did put some detoxin on these, but yeah, that looks pretty shabby. But it looks like it works. I don't know yet. I gotta get the radio to work a little bit to see if these things need more service, but I'm a little afraid to even over-service them because I don't know, just break those things and you're out of the game. So you don't want to break the wafers, just be gentle with them. Anyway, it's a pretty neat radio. So I hope this thing comes to life. It sure is a wonderful looking radio as far as the internals. It's constructed brilliantly. All right, that's how far I got today. I guess I've been trying not to kill myself fixing this thing, just take it as it goes. But it's exciting once it fires up, so you have to kind of temper your enthusiasm, as sometimes you rush the job to get it playing, and then you know where you are. So this one is definitely not playing yet. I would feel better if I had some light out of this thing, something lit up. So I gotta get some lights on the radio working. The switch, I don't think the switch is bad, but who knows? I really want to get the front panel off so I can get more access to the lamps in there and get access to that lamp. And I got to learn the whole circuit. I have to learn how this whole thing works because I really can't debug it until I get it in my head. That might take a few days. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Again, this is the HRO 500 that I've been working on, and I guess I could go like this. And now it's right side up. What do you know? That's what I should have been doing. Anyway, yeah, HRO 500, been working on it. Cleaning it up. I think this is going to be a clean machine. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.